So if you've been following me for a while, you've probably seen my series on Instagram and TikTok and here on YouTube as well, where I piece together famous metal songs from the ground up. So starting with drums, bass, guitar, and the other elements that make up your favorite songs, basically. So today I thought I would take it a step further and just introduce you a little bit further into my workflow and how I actually do it. And I wanted to show you a great tool that I've been using for those videos, and that is RipX, which is the sponsor of this video. Now, RipX is a digital audio workstation which has AI-powered stem separation capabilities. So what that means is you can take any MP3, whack it straight in here, and it will spit out stems of the track itself purely from an MP3. It's amazing. I'm not actually sure how it does it, but it's kind of like magic, and I'm not going to ask any questions. Makes my life a hell of a lot easier. So what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you how I piece together an Avenged Sevenfold song. I'm going to do chapter 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the MP3 of chapter 4, put it into RipX, and then it's going to separate out. So it's going to give me the drums separately, the bass separately, the guitar, and then I'll be able to listen to all of those, hear exactly what they're playing, and then record those in and piece that song from the ground up. So I'm going to show you how I do it. So now that I've got chapter 4 into RipX, you can see here it's basically separated out every part of the thing. So you've got the voice here, and you've got the guitar, bass, and then drums, which is separated into the kick and then the percussion. So that'll be the sort of kick and snare and cymbals, which are separated so you can hear exactly what they're playing. So in my piecing together famous metal songs videos, I usually start with the drums, obviously, because that's kind of a natural place to start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to piece together the section of the song where it's like the second harmony of the song. You'll recognize it if you know Avenged Sevenfold. So what we're going to do here is I'm not going to solo anything. So that's just the song. Obviously, as you know, if you just listen to that alone, you might not be able to hear exactly what each instrument is playing because it's all part of the mix. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to solo the drums alone so I can hear exactly what they're playing. So you've obviously got eighth notes, kick drums there. You've got the ride playing every quarter note, and then the snare on every offbeat, which is a pretty basic beat. You might have been able to hear it without isolating it, but it's just nice to isolate it so you can hear exactly as it sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over into Logic, where I'm going to record this stuff with my software instruments. Obviously, the beat that we heard here, let's just refresh our memory using the stem separation software, RipX. So that's pretty simple. So I'm going to head over into Logic and then record it myself. All right, so that's pretty easy. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be a bit cheeky and quantize that. I might just also increase that because it seems that's a bit faster. Right, and then obviously, so that's the kick and snare. I'm going to duplicate that track, so we've got another drum track. And then we've obviously, if I go back over to RipX, so you've obviously got that ride, every quarter note, really simple. Right, easy. So I can do that, take over to the ride, find our ride symbol. There it is. Right, okay, we're going to go 2, 3, 4. Cool, so that's the drums. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quantize that again so it's all matched up to the grid. And now what we need is we're going to need a bass. Up the drive. Right, so let's listen to the bass. RipX has isolated the bass for me so I can hear exactly what the bass is playing. Okay, right, that's basically how it sounds. Let's just record that in. That's recorded in. Then I'm going to quantize that once again. Then I'm going to just force legato, so it's all full. Now, we need some guitars. So, create an audio track. Let's head over to RipX. Solo the guitars only. So here, it has taken all of the guitar tracks, so I will still need to use some of my ear to pick out what the lead and the rhythms are playing, but it really allows you to hear exactly where the guitars are panned and exactly what the rhythm guitar is. So in particular, the rhythm guitar. So if you listen to the whole mix together. You might not know exactly what the rhythm guitar is playing, let's say. So let's just do... Yeah, cool. So another of RipX's useful learning tools is its powerful chord recognition, which analyzes a song's chord progression and shows it to you in line with the grid. If you're a guitarist, you'll also know how much easier learning a lead line can be if you just slow the track down. Thanks to RipX, you can take an isolated guitar part and slow it right down, allowing you to take your time while learning. So that's the guitar, let's get that played in. So that's the rhythm guitar, let's do the lead guitars now. I can hear that first one there is, but I can hear using RipX. So that's panned on the right, sorry. So we need that harmony is on the right. 2, 3, 4. So that's harmony number 1. And then let's figure out what the harmony number 2 is playing. So then we're going to play harmony number 2 and pan it left, basically. That's just one thing that RipX can do, but it really does excel in stem separation. It's so simple. You just whack an MP3. It probably will give you a better results if it is a more detailed audio file. So if you're working with a WAV, for example, throw that in there. But if not, if you just have an MP3, it will more than do the job in stem separation, so you can hear exactly what instruments are playing what. So this is super helpful if you're learning guitar, for example, or drums or bass or whatever else. So there you have it. But stem separation is just one thing that RipX can do. It also excels in a bunch of other areas. So audio repair, audio manipulation. There's a bunch of features in here. You can also experiment with different tempos, effects, pitches, keys and scales. You can also time stretch, adjust the stereo panning, volume and EQ. You can basically play with any audio file to your heart's content, really. But RipX is really leading the charge when it comes to AI stem separation in particular. I recently started using this and I'm definitely going to be using it going forward when it comes to learning songs, particularly songs that don't have tabs available. RipX just allows me to hear exactly what the guitars are playing in any song. So RipX is available now. For more information, you can head to hitandmix.com.